Hello and welcome to Intero Talk with Dawn and Katie. Katie,
Hey.
nice to see you.
Good.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hey.
How's it going, Katie?
Oh, good. Sorry, I just was switching rooms in my house.
Okay, nice.
Okay, got it.
Wow.
I'm getting settled in now.
Nice. Settled in. I'm getting settled in too.
Yeah.
So, did you have a nice day?
I did. Yeah. It's been a little different. My poor hubby's been sick for the last month with a cold. And then he went to the doctor last week and they said, "Oh, you're fine and everything sounds good. And if it doesn't get better by the end of the weekend, come back in." Well, on Monday he was still really miserable, and turns out it turned into pneumonia. So he's been home the last few days. So my days have been just different, like, because there's somebody else in the house with me. So it's kind of weird.
Aw.
Yeah, I feel so bad for him.
So he got all kinds of medicines and stuff that he needed?
Yeah, they only gave him a prescription and antibiotics. So that was weird. But he's doing all right. He tried to go to work today, and he was home in a few hours because he's just exhausted. And this cough, it's just a gnarly cough.
Yeah.
So, anyway, my day was good. Otherwise, it's been good.
Well, I hope he feels better soon.
Thank you. How's yours today?
My day was good. We had a sunny day. We just had like a tiny little rain shower, which is it's just been an unusual winter for us. So I love rain. But it was sunny today, and I heard that up in LA there was a tornado, which is insanity because we don't get that kind of weather here. So I don't know much about it, but that was in LA, but here it was really nice. I went to I went to the hardware store to get the last of what I need for my Roman shades that I'm making. Did I tell you I was making Roman shades?
No.
So I'm making Roman shades, the kind that go up and or down.
Okay.
They're kind of complicated.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of sewing. It's more just the cables and, but anyway, so I'm going to make a YouTube video on how I did it because I looked at so many different YouTube videos and I really think somebody needs to do a new YouTube video. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to track my progress. Anyway, I did that. Went to chiropractor, went to buy some flowers for the garden.
How's your Russian friends doing?
Great. Getting settled in.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. And then I had lunch with a friend. So it was a good day. A little bit of a headache, but other than that. So I'm interested in hearing, you just started telling me that Vallow was transported today to Boise. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're moving her. Yep. And I just I saw the notification. I started following that Pretty Lies and Alibis. I think Ginny is her name.
Gigi.
She said that Gigi. She said this is the case that got her started into her podcast. So she's doing a crash course.
Right.
It's not really a crash course. I mean, she goes into it. So it's been
not as much
great.
As some. Not as much as some, but I'm glad you liked her. I'm glad you liked it.
Well, the crash course is like an overview, but it's still a detailed overview. But she's like, I got 50 episodes on like the child support nonsense, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, I follow
the crash course, or are you doing her?
I'm doing the crash course.
Okay.
So, but anyway, she posted on Twitter like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, so hold on. Hold on one second. I got to say hello to Lorenzo. I have not seen you in a while, Lorenzo. Lorenzo's a Packer fan. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
I want to know what you're thinking about Rodgers. We haven't heard any news right yet.
No.
It's probably not going to be till like training camp now. Lorenzo, ding dong, Lori, ding dong bell. Okay. Sorry to interrupt, but I had to say hi to our
you're
people.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Gigi posted on Twitter that she got a notification that they're moving her. And then she posted another picture of somebody at a gas station of Lori, like in the back, going into the back of a police vehicle at the gas station. So anyway, she probably had to take a tea break.
They made a stop.
Yeah, apparently. Huh. Where is she being held? I didn't realize that.
She's in, I think it's Rexburg, so it's a different county.
Okay.
Yeah, because of, well, the attorneys asked for a change of venue. Just
Oh, they did.
that, I believe it was Chad's attorneys. It may have been both Lori's and Chad's, but um, for those who have watched the Dan Markel trials and have had some really justifiable criticism of the defense attorneys for Catherine May Banawa, and about how contentious she was toward the prosecution. Chad Daybell's attorney is another level on that. Another level. Hey, Too Deep,
Oh
how
boy.
you doing? Yes. Okay. So there is a strange sound, Katie, when you speak. It's like a
Oh,
bounce ball. It goes. Roop,
okay.
roop. Do you have a different
That's
mic
annoying.
or something, or do you have it rubbing on
No,
something? Oh, do you
it might
have?
be. Here, let me
Okay.
take my jacket off.
Oh, I just wondering. Oh,
Okay, is that any better?
I don't hear it.
Oh, I wonder if it's my earrings. You don't hear it now?
I don't hear it. Chat, do you
Okay.
guys hear it? It's like a bouncing ball and thank you for letting us know observation. Thank you.
I
It was
don't,
like
I don't hear
it
it.
wasn't,
So,
it was just, yeah, it's gone. Oh, it must have been louder for them. It
okay.
was very slight for me, so I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
obnoxious.
Peppy.
Thank you.
Hey, Peppy. Yes. Okay. So is it okay now? Too Deep and observation? Is everybody good? Hi, everyone. Okay. So she's been transported to Boise. The trial is going to
Yeah.
happen. It's in 12 days from today.
Okay, so I think it's crazy. Sorry, you were talking about watching trials. Like, I understand that video cameras can't be in it, but I just assumed that the audio would be live.
It did it again.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to put my camera down. Hold on.
I heard it when she put her camera down. Okay, we're working on it. This is a new week. She'll fix it. She'll fix it. Okay, while she does that, I'm going to share a slide. It was, oh, go ahead. I just mic'd her. I know it sounds like a frog when she's working on it. Okay, sorry. I muted you. What?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep. So far, so good. So far, so good. So if you guys hear
No
it
frog?
again, just put the little frog emoji. All right. Okay, so I wanted to quick go through the family tree. By the way, this just makes me really sad.
Yeah.
I put these two photograph screen captures together, but Too Deep
That's
is better.
heartbreaking.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Is it better now, Too Deep? Is it okay now? Go ahead and talk, Katie.
Okay, I was just saying that I was surprised that, like, I understand that
It's doing it again.
That there will be no live feed. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna leave and I'll join back.
Okay. Okay, she'll be right back. So you guys, I did a new chart here of the Daybell clan here, and thanks for the frog emojis. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a frog. To me, I was like, it sounds like a bouncing ball, but we've never had that happen with her before, so maybe she just needs to come and go. So as we know, the trial coming up is Lori and Chad. The two have been severed, so it's Lori only. She's insisting on a speedy trial, so she's getting a speedier trial than Chad, even though it's been a while. And so it's for her two children, Tylee and JJ, and she's also been charged in conspiracy for Tammy. So, and then Chad is first degree murder for Tylee, JJ, and Tammy. So Lori is first degree murder for Tylee and JJ, and conspiracy to commit first degree murder for Tammy. So, but they're kind of partner trials now. They're no longer enjoined, but There was an ex-husband, of course, Charles Vallow, who is JJ's dad, who Lori will be stand trial for after she finishes this trial in Idaho. It's expected to be like 10 weeks approximately. And and I don't believe they have charged Chad with anything regarding the Charles Vallow murder, but it seems like he was also conspiring with her. If you followed any of the people who have covered this in detail. Hello, Katie.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just once in a while the frog comes. So we'll see if the frog comes back. It's not constant. It's just like once in a while it sounds like yeah. So
It's so funny. Okay.
I did just hear it again when you no, it was only when you were fooling around with your thing.
Okay.
So don't fool around.
I won't touch it.
Okay, so here's the updated chart here, right? So we've got, as I was explaining, I went through the charges. So Lori is being charged with first degree murder for Tylee and JJ.
Mm-hmm.
She's also being charged with, let me read it actually from the charge here. So this is what her trial will be for: conspiracy to commit first degree murder and grand theft by deception for the death of Tylee Ryan. That's one count. And then the second count is first degree murder for the death of Tylee Ryan. The third count is conspiracy to commit first degree murder and grand theft by deception for the death of JJ Vallow. This is heartbreaking to read. Number 4 count, first degree murder for the death of JJ Vallow.
What's a grand theft?
Well, let me finish going through the charges real quick because I'm almost done. So, and then number 5 is conspiracy to commit first degree murder in the death of Tylee Daybell. So she's not being charged with first degree murder of Tylee Daybell. He is, but she's being charged with conspiracy.
Yeah.
He's being charged with conspiracy and first degree on her. And then grand theft is the 6th count, and that's grand theft related to Social Security survivor benefits over $1,000 allocated for the care of minors, Tylee and JJ. Yeah. So then when she
was getting like $4,000 a month for that, or something ridiculous,
the survivor benefit, and then and that's because she killed because of Charles too.
Yes.
But so bottom line is she continued to collect that after they were dead. So then when she's done, remember, in Idaho with this approximately 10-week trial, she then will be sent over to Arizona, extradited to Arizona for conspiracy to commit first degree murder in the death of Charles Vallow. And she conspired theoretically with Alex Cox, her brother, who's now dead. There's still the open case of Brandon Boudreaux. And they also, if you're looking at this chart here, family tree, whatever you want to call that. So we've got Brandon was the attempted over here on the left. And then Charles is dead. And then they still have Joseph Ryan, her husband prior to that, who was killed found dead only a year prior in 2018. And they had been divorced since, I think, 2006. So there were still issues regarding custody settlement for Tylee with Joseph. And so a lot like the Markel case, child custody issues. And they still have that listed as a suspicious death. They didn't initially, I'm not sure if they did initially, but they do now. But she's not been charged. She's also not yet been charged with the Brandon Boudreaux attempted murder.
Yep.
And then of course Alex, who she conspired with for all of this, as did Chad Daybell, allegedly. He's dead. So, and then his wife of 12 days said that he attempted to murder her. the first night of their wedding night. So, and then of course Tammy did. So, okay, so what's your question? So the way that the charges read, you were asking, what does it mean, grand theft by deception? So I guess in Idaho, I mean, I'm just surmising this because I'm not a legal expert by any means, but conspiracy to commit first degree murder and grand theft by deception probably adds some what's it called, special circumstance to the what we know as special circumstances when we hear about murder, like lying in wait would be. So when you have conspiracy and grand theft, that mean that ties into their motive for why they did it, and
Sure.
so it sets it apart in a way from
Okay.
something else that's not that. I haven't had these really explained. I was actually going to ask an attorney to come on and talk to us about some of these things. So basically and then the other thing is, as you might know from other trials, is let's say they don't, particularly with the death penalty on the table, let's say they didn't think she actually murdered them and they don't want to find her guilty of murder.
Yep.
They could find her not guilty of first degree murder, but guilty of conspiring to do it, along with the grand theft by deception. That would have added more years to the sentencing guidelines.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that's why they would have put that in there.
Okay.
If she's found guilty on all of it, some of those might run consecutively or concurrently. Yes.
I didn't realize this trial is also I thought this trial was only for Tylee and JJ. I didn't realize that it was also the conspiracy of Tammy.
Yes. You just did a little froggy again.
What the heck?
It's not, don't wiggle because I don't think that's helping, but it's not all the time. I don't know what to say. But it's not bothering me, but I think it's probably worse on their end. It's is it really bad, you guys? Have you left?
Yeah, let me know.
Let us know if it's tolerable. It's like they laughed. It's only when she talks. When I hear it, it's like,
shoot.
It's like you make a sentence and then it's like and then it's not. Oh, it's so okay. Sorry. So observation says it's really loud on their end.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay. So can you go into your settings? Do you know how to do that? See the 3 dots?
Yeah.
Okay. And turn on and off your settings and maybe start it. Thanks for letting us know. And I'm going to mute you while you do that, okay?
Okay, I think I'm good now.
Okay. Did you change something?
Yes, it was picking up my iPhone microphone versus
perfect.
My AirPod microphone.
Okay, guys.
So I think it was doing an echo.
Okay, Chad, is it better now? I don't hear anything now. I think it's better.
I'm of a burp and croak. I'm so sorry.
Well, it was really soft on I was like, that sounds weird, but I wasn't. But it's really loud for them, so we don't want that.
Okay, well, hopefully
it's now. Observation says we're good. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
And I also, on this chart, I wanted to add in, and there were lots of children involved, but on the side of Charles Vallow, he had 2 children previously, so they're without a dad. And then, of course, Tammy's Daybell had 5 children with Chad. And it's funny you guys are saying frog, because I have a frog thing with Chad Daybell I've got to share with you when the time comes.
Oh, no.
So, and then Melanie and Brandon have 4 children together, and he's taken custody of those children because of her involvement in the cults, the alleged cult, as well as his attempted murder. So a lot of children. But now these are the dots. Mm-hmm.
Her and Ian have a kid together, at least one.
Yeah, they have a baby. Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I was going to say earlier is I cannot believe that the audio isn't being streamed live. It sounds like you have to be there to hear even the audio, that's not being streamed.
I think it's being streamed, but the people who want to
Okay.
stream, you have to pay for it.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be streamed live. I think
But
it's
like,
going to be
okay. Interesting.
I'm not sure. I think they're still, yeah. So I think they're still working that out. But as far as I knew, it was going to be streamed live, unless it's going to be like a day late on all of it, that they have to
I don't know.
download it and then upload it, which is silly. That's just like a lot of extra work.
Yeah, Gigi was saying that she's going to be there for 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off. So she's going to live tweet it, which will be great. But she said that on the week off, she's like, they're talking about like getting CDs to the people that need it.
I did hear about that. Yeah. So I'm not going to be reading anyone's live tweets. I'm going to wait until I can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to be able to hear it myself.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be different, but
I really hope that because I heard that journalists are still trying to change it.
They're
hoping that the judge might change it.
Well, they're fighting in court, basically.
Okay.
So
perfect.
And then I have a nice little, which you just.
Oh, Dawn.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
Wait till I get to Chad. Oh my gosh. And his lawyer. Oh my gosh. So here they are. It's very sad. Of course, for those of you who are joining us, know that this is my legal disclaimer and these are just my opinions. I am not a legal or mental health professional. I'm just here for entertainment purposes and educational. So here we are today. We're going to go to part 2 of Lori's police interview. And we did Tylee's a couple weeks ago. And these are some of the other ones that we've done in the past. And I have a coming soon. Okay, I have a coming soon. And I'll probably just do this as a pre-recorded and upload the video. Because what I'm noticing is the similarities between Alex Cox, Lori Daybell's brother, and Charles Adelson, Wendy Adelson's brother. A lot of commonalities. And so I'm going to present 20 ways. One of these are just like the others, how Alex Cox and Charlie Adelson are twinning. And
I love this.
Watch for that. And then I'm also going to do Lori Daybell and Wendy Adelson, because there are a lot of similars there too. So they're twinning too.
I love that.
So those will be shorter versions, but I might just do that as a video, like graphics. I'm not sure if I'll chat or not. So, all right. So you want to get to the police interview?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Have you followed the Gwyneth Paltrow case at all?
No. Tell me what's going on, because it just looks like ridiculous.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
That's why I'm not.
If you want pure entertainment, just find Gwyneth Paltrow clips. I bet the lawyers are just in the opening statement. She's the defense, so her lawyer was objected to like 10 times in the opening statement, and after the last one, he goes, "Gosh, Judge, that was like 10 overruled, which I think is just inappropriate." And the judge immediately goes, "To the bench."
Oh boy.
Oh boy. It's a mess.
I just saw a little clip and I was like, I've seen enough of that. That's it. My tolerance, with certain things is just, it was clownish what I saw. And she was making faces, very inappropriate.
Yep.
Very inappropriate. I mean, it's hard not to make faces when you're emotionally, invested into something. Remember, I told you a couple weeks ago I had a hearing, and I was like, I just did this so that I wouldn't make faces, but I was just like, which I guess in and of itself is a face, but I was better than my faces because I make faces. a lot. And so I saw her faces and I was like, are you kidding?
Right.
Okay. So everybody ready?
And then the plaintiff.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, one more thing. The plaintiff hasn't been in for the majority of it because apparently his personality has changed so much that they just don't want to dogpile on him and they don't want him to see how negative it's all been. So he hasn't even been in while the witnesses are on the stand.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
Well,
That'd be like Alec Murdaugh not in there the whole time that they're calling him a thief.
well, wasn't he? But he had a head injury though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's honestly, it's very stressful. Even a small proceeding in court can be very nerve-wracking. So I mean,
Yeah, I can't imagine.
yeah, it's nice that he's not, that he was given that. But yeah, I don't know that much about it, so I can't really comment intelligently. But I'm just saying, I could see why that would be necessary for some. Yeah. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
And don't forget, chat, just hit stop or pause and please weigh in. We left off about 45 seconds before. Oh gosh, that sounded bad. This is where she's all hyper. About 45 seconds before this.
And it's like on the floor screaming, dragging him into school. Like, and he's big and he's heavy and it's hard for me to handle. But anyway, so I said, just go. And so he said, okay. So I gave him a backpack. He got in the car. This is his MO, right? He always leaves something in the house and comes back. He never leaves the first time. I always expect my husband to come back into the house, right? So I guess he had left his phone on the counter.
So he initially left with the backpack and with JJ?
And so he put them in the car,
okay,
in the driveway, and then he came back in, right? So I kissed JJ goodbye. He came back in, and his phone was on the counter, and I had his phone. And he was like, give me my phone. And I was like, why don't you show me your text that you've been texting?
Get your hands off my phone. You know, somebody took my phone and didn't want to give it back to me. So she's basically admitting what they thought happened, which is that she was provoking. They were provoking.
Very much so. Yep.
It's making me mad just hearing this.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, give me my phone. This is a 50-year-old woman. Like she sounds as if she's Tylee's age.
Yeah.
I feel like
my heart breaks so much for Charles because it sounds like he just loved her so much and he just wanted to get her help. And it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
He was very much set up in this situation.
I really have, I get really annoyed by people who antagonize other people and then they're like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. What's their problem? It's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
Too deep. At least we got to see this comment.
Yeah.
Sometimes his comments get deleted. Okay.
Well, whatever. Because he's like acting really weird, like he's plotting something against.
And she was told that he was arranging an intervention. So yeah, he was plotting something.
But she also tends to project, like, oh, he might be cheating, but actually
100%.
It's her cheating, and
that is
he's
also
plotting something. It's actually you.
That's classic behavior. And the one thing I'm learning from watching these trials and in this kind of the interrogations and things like that is how much in common most of these criminals have.
Yeah.
And so you can't say that you can't profile someone that they're not that everybody who has these characteristics or does these things is going to take it to the level of murder, but people who aren't. It's the people who, So
and it's not everybody that has these characteristics will take it to murder, but all the people that have murdered tend to have these characteristics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they're danger signs when you see that in your day-to-day life with somebody's constantly turning the tables like that and not taking responsibility for anything, playing the victim. Oh my gosh. Poor me. It's just so funny though, because she just looks like she's so broken up about it, right? Like if he was doing all those things to her, wouldn't she be upset?
Yes.
I'm like, why are you even here? Like, what did you come here for? You know, he's been talking to my other brother, and my brother came into town at the same time last night.
Why are you even here? What did you come here for? To see my child?
See JJ. To protect JJ. Yeah,
and I haven't talked to my brother in a while, my other brother, and I was like, and so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house, and I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk to him? Like, my other brother. And, you know, he's been telling me all these texts, like, you're going down, blah, 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 blah. He's blaming me.
He's been telling me all these texts, like, what does that even mean? She had his phone and she's asking, and she's not giving him his phone, according to her story. And she told him, why don't you tell me what you've been texting? But then she already knows what he's been texting because he's texting her. And this is what she's complaining about, right? Am I getting this right?
Yeah. Yeah. And wasn't it her texting Zulema about how, it's all going down?
Well, I don't know if
he
he
saw whatever.
He didn't see those texts though. Just between her
no,
and
but
Charles.
It's her projecting.
Right, yeah.
But what I'm saying is her projecting again, because she's saying, oh, he was texting me that I'm going down. And in reality, it's her texting everybody else that we're going to take care of him.
I think he did tell her, you know,
did he?
jig is up. I think he did in one text. Yeah. Possibly. Plus he was doing the intervention or arranging for the intervention. That never happened.
Me for our marriage breaking up and my niece getting divorced and my friend getting divorced. He said, I'm a destroyer of families because I want everybody to get divorced. I'm like,
she used the word destroy. I'm going to destroy your own families. He's the one she said, I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there were lots of texts that are going to be probably in the trial that have been shared. And why would he say he's going to destroy? I'm going to destroy your own families. Her sentences aren't even coherent.
Is that what she said? I thought she said that I'm a destroyer of families because her marriage is broken up. She broke up Chad and Tammy's. And
maybe
let me play
it again.
And so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house, and I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk to him? Like, my other brother. And
how would she?
You know, he's been telling me all these texts, like, you're going down, blah, 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 blah. He's blaming me for our marriage breaking up and my niece getting divorced and my friend getting divorced. He said, I'm a destroyer of families. Because I want everybody to get divorced. I'm like, what would my motivation be for people getting divorced? So I can babysit the kids more? Like, why would I have any control over what people do?
Yeah.
So you can have an affair.
Why would I have any control over what people do? But we can change the weather and cause earthquakes, and we can cause rain. And that was the whole.
And we can. What's that called?
She was.
When you go from one place to another, what's that called?
When you go from one place to another?
Yeah, like just boom, like you're thinking of a place and just boom, you're in the next place.
She could transport herself.
Yes.
Into different realms. Yeah. Okay. But the point is, okay, so yeah, like as to what you were saying, she's accusing him of exactly the things that portals, yeah. And I think they called them transporting as well. Portals. Oh, thank you, observation. Okay.
It's just very odd. But anyway.
Yeah, it's odd.
He goes nuts. He's gone nuts on us a lot of times. Tylee and I have had to leave with JJ over the years, probably 5 times, and just stay in a hotel for 2 days because he goes nuts. Like, you don't know what's going to set him off. Like, whatever. And she's mad at me for always, like, going back. But we had JJ and he's special needs, and it's really hard. Like, it's even hard to take care of by yourself.
So when you say he goes nuts, that means.
Did you hear when she said that? First, she started to say, when we had JJ, he's special needs. But then she straightened it out to sound like she wasn't complaining about him. And she's,
Yeah.
and he's special. Yes, but she started being like, "Nah." And then she changed the tone of her sentence midstream. How did they not pick up on any of this? I mean, we're just nobody, and we can hear these things.
Yeah. Is this an investigator though, or is this a social worker that's talking to
No,
her?
this is a cop.
Okay.
This is an
It's
officer.
awful. They did not do their job. Not even a little.
That can mean a lot of different things.
Right.
So goes nuts like yelling and screaming.
Yeah,
goes
yelling and
nuts like
screaming,
breaking
like,
things.
yes.
Goes nuts like physical violence.
He's never really, besides like grabbing us and pushing us, but not like punching us or something. But with Tylee, he has gotten physical
Okay.
before, and with my girl.
Has he? Is there any record of any of that?
He grabs us and he pushes us,
And
but he doesn't get physical. But with Tylee, he gets physical. So which is it? Which is it?
yeah, it's the same thing.
And the police officer says, wait. She doesn't say, wait. He grabs you and he grabbed you and pushed you? Did you have
What do you mean
bruises?
that
No.
he gets physical with your daughter?
Right.
Expound on that.
Grown son.
Like physical how?
Like got into a physical fist fight with my son when he was 16.
Okay.
And he came after Tylee 2 times in Hawaii.
Okay.
And like went like he was gonna hit her, but then I got in between them.
Uh-huh.
Like he was going to hit her.
But he didn't.
He went like he was going to hit her, but she got in between them.
She fixed it.
She's a good mom.
Oh, God.
Okay. So you don't like hit somebody. You either hit somebody or you don't.
It's like you're kind of
How old
pregnant.
was she?
Right. Right.
Insane.
Look at her looking at
Insanity.
her straight in the eye there. She's trying to figure out what, because she's now being challenged slightly, just ever so slightly. She's not smiling right now.
Do you know when that happened?
Probably 13 and 14.
Okay.
What's she doing with her mouth there?
So this morning he comes.
Chewing on her lip?
Trying to think. What am I saying here? Let me think.
Mm-hmm.
Back in and
Because again, I wouldn't give him his phone. He was screaming at me to give him his phone. He was very worried about whatever was on his text that he did not want me to see. And so
you can clearly tell she's thinking, and then all of a sudden she brings it back to the story. We're done talking about this.
Yep.
That's not, we're going back to the details that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crazy.
How nobody can read my text. My phone goes to sleep and you need a password or a face to wake it up. How does she get into his phone and be reading all this stuff?
Does she know his passcode? I don't know.
And he was only there for a minute. I mean, this is a lot of things. See, the story does not make sense.
And all of this was happening while Tylee was supposedly sleeping. It's
Right? With a bat under her bed.
I was just holding it there and he was screaming at me.
I was just holding it there. Well,
it's like you're
it doesn't
holding it
belong
away
to
from
you.
him, like,
Right.
you can't touch it.
She was laughing at him and
God.
observation says whether or not Lori, it's his phone. Right. It's his dang phone. Yes. Exactly.
And I was kind of walking towards around the house with it so he couldn't get it. He's like reaching for it.
Now there's some honesty. And she probably wasn't walking around the house with it, but she was taunting him right there.
Oh my God.
I was just kind of
like, how old are you?
Right. What? Oh man.
And stuff like that. And so Tylee
and stuff like that everybody does all the time, takes someone else's phone and runs around the house with it when they're in the middle of a bad situation.
My 9-year-olds might do that to each other, but
I mean, she's saying that their marriage is splitting up. She's saying that their marriage is splitting up. How could this be helpful? Is this helpful? This is not helpful.
Gosh.
came out of her room upset, and she had a bat, and she told him to leave her mother alone, like, right? So she was really whatever, and he's screaming at her, "Don't you hit me with that bat," and blah, 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 blah. And
I love the blah, 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 blah. And blah, 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 blah. Like what, and blah, 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 but what's that? He said blah, 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 blah.
Do you say blah, blah, blah?
No.
There's a really good movie, Hotel Transylvania. It's about vampires, and it's the main character throughout all the movies. There's like 4 of them. It's cartoons. It's a kid movie. It's so cute. He's like, "I do not say blah, blah, blah." One of my favorite lines.
then my brother made all the commotion because he.
Oops, sorry.
The other thing isn't there reports that Lori and Tylee are not getting along? Like, Lori does not like Tylee at this point.
I don't know if it's at this point or when the report came through, but yeah, there's reports that Lori does not want anything to do with her daughter.
But yet
So
she's
sad.
like, "I'm going to protect my mom. You will not hurt my mom."
I'm not sure
I
if
mean-
it was just there yet. I think this was the pivotal point.
Okay.
So what happened after this day that Charles was shot, and after this police interview, and Tylee's the same day that we went over, Lori took Tylee's phone away from her so she couldn't communicate with any of her friends or relatives and get support. The reports are that Tylee was extraordinarily upset about this, about losing Charles, because he was a father figure to her, stepdad. And according to Adam, who she's talking about Charles texting with her brother, who was helping Charles theoretically arrange this intervention that was supposed to happen, that evening or shortly thereafter with her family and Charles. This is why she wanted his phone and stuff, and to stop him, because she didn't want an intervention. Adam's son, who I believe was also staying with Lori at the time, and I believe his name is Kobe, not Colby, but I don't quote me on that. But Adam's son was close with Tylee as well, and Adam wanted to see her, and she was at her grandmother's at Janice Cox's, Lori's mother. Janice walled Tylee off and wouldn't allow her to speak with anyone else.
Yeah.
She took her phone, and then her mom did the rest of the job for her. Her mother was very complicit in all this stuff. Really crazy.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I think I heard about that interview with Adam's son, because he did live with Lori and
Charles. Yes.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yes.
But he was creeped out by it and he left.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
He was in there in bed, and so he came out into the main room, and I guess whatever.
What's your brother's name?
Alex.
Alex, okay.
And then
Alex.
he was screaming, and he was super upset and whatever, and he's yelling at Tylee, "Don't you hit me with that bat," and blah, blah, blah. And so Tylee, I guess, I don't know if she swung at him or what, but he grabbed the bat from Tylee and then went to hit Tylee with the bat.
That's not what Tylee said.
Right. The story, I was
Not
wondering
what
when
Tylee
you were going to
said.
start commenting on. The stories are very different. And then Alex's story is very different too. Yep.
And I was right there, they were right there, and my brother grabbed him from behind, just to stop him from hitting Tylee.
You go like this, like he grabbed him, like.
Yeah, from behind, just kind of.
I love how the police officer just helps her. Don't help her. Don't help people.
Yeah.
Let's see, can we help her match the story to Tylee's?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm extraordinarily upset because I was looking at the interview of prior to this. I think it was the year before. I can't remember. And it was I don't know if it was a whole year. It was not. It was prior to this, though, when Charles was trying to get her help, psychological help, and he had an order for her to be brought to, I forgot the name of the institution, to be evaluated.
Like Bridges or something?
Yeah, and Tylee and Lori were in the interview room, and that cop was aiding and abetting her as well and telling her how to get out of it. And it's so
I
frustrating.
just heard about that today, but that was part of the crash course case that
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because
Observation
they think
says,
like men.
go ahead.
Oh,
He said
just
what?
that that cop was like, men can't get abused against. Like domestic violence only happens to the women, not the other way around. And the cop was protecting the woman versus believing that she needs help because
Well, what was
everything
really
that Charles is saying is
yeah. Well, I don't know if
it's
he
awful.
went that far, but what was really irritating is he's like, I'm not going to take sides, but he was clearly taking sides and telling her how to get out of it, and then asking some questions that, it was just like, why are they even? She was there because he took her purse and keys, and he was trying to do that to force her to go to the police station so that they would. Yeah, and didn't have it ready yet, so according to this cop, the orders to bring her in. Okay.
To pull him back, and then they got into the thing, and he's hitting him with the bat, and they're on the ground, like grappling.
He's hitting him with the bat. I mean, there's like no evidence that anyone got hit with a bat. And observation says, also that that the cop is helping Lori here. It's so weird. That does I've never had that happen. When if you're in a car accident or whatever, cops are usually try to play it down the middle,
around or whatever. And then
it's like the cop didn't want to deal with it.
Well,
the cop didn't want to deal with it, like with the order and any of that. He was like, "Oh my God, just get out of here."
Kept her there forever. Like if he didn't want to deal with it, he would have gotten her out of there. It went on and on and on. It's like, get her out of there.
Isn't that where he was talking to Tylee about like how she wanted to be a cop, and he's like, "Oh, well, this is what you're going to have to deal with."
Yeah. And when Tylee said, we probably should focus on this one, but Tylee also said they're going to give her a padded room. She knew.
God.
It was all quickly.
And he hit your brother with the bat while they were grappling and stuff.
Yeah, yes, he was hitting him with the bat, like swinging.
He was hitting him with the bat.
Who hits like this?
Well, not only that, but he didn't get hit multiple times with the bat. He didn't even say he got hit with the bat.
No. And they're like wrestling on the ground while he's like hitting him with the bat.
How can you grapple with the bat and hit with it at the same time?
And how does he get away?
Bad liar. He did.
The bat, back and forth, and they were kind of like on the ground, and I was like freaking out trying to go around, knowing JJ was in the car.
Yeah.
Right. And so
now he's swinging the bat while he's on the ground.
Up, and he had the bat like this towards me, and I was going around the other side to try to just get out of his range where he couldn't hit me
with his phone. I got your phone. I can just see it. Oh my gosh.
And then
he's like swinging at Alex. He's on top of Alex on the ground, swinging at him like this or this. And she's trying to walk around. So while he's swinging at him, he's also trying to hit her.
Of course.
And the cops don't do anything.
She doesn't question that at all. Can you show me? Here, let me grab a bat. Let me grab a stick.
I got a baton.
Here. You show me exactly what you're saying. We need to see this. Somebody was killed. We shouldn't be laughing, but somebody was killed. Yes. And they didn't question anything here.
I had told Tylee, because she was on the ground, because after he took the bat from her, she fell back. And so I told her, I was like, go get in the car with JJ. Like, I don't want JJ coming into the house.
Because I'm such a good mom. And my kid's out in the car by himself.
But now Tylee's seeing them wrestle? Tylee didn't say anything like that.
Oh, sir. And I wanted her out of the way. I wanted the kids out of the way.
She's doing a lot of the hands thing. This is like the behavior panelists would have a field day with these hands.
Oh God.
Whatever this fight was going to be. And then
whatever this fight was going to be. And she laughs.
Hold
And
up.
he
Whatever
said,
this fight
was
whatever
going
this
to
fight
be.
is going to be.
Was going to be.
Why didn't she leave with his phone and call the cops when they're on the ground and he's supposedly beating the crap out of him with a bat? Her first thought wasn't to leave the house with his phone, because obviously she can use it and go call 911. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody calls 911 until 45 minutes later.
Do you remember what your husband or your brother were saying or yelling during all of this? If they were at all?
just kind of get off
Okay,
me,
cop.
or whatever.
What?
I said, okay, cop, that's not the important part of this story.
Right.
That's the
Well, she's
details
trying
you're
to.
going to ask
Well,
about?
she has to ask this, but she's not doing a great job. But she should ask this, because then this would be an easy one to verify with the others. Did they say she?
Yes.
Because in the heat of the moment, somebody might get their swinging bats mixed up. But if they're asking what they said and
Sure.
they're saying they said this could be
Sure.
a good point. Yeah.
They were like, don't talk to my niece about whatever. Like, it was, I don't remember specifics, but
What was she just doing there with her leg? Did you see that?
Was it?
All of this? If they were at all?
just kind of get off me, or whatever. They were like,
What is happening there?
She's got an itch on.
Well,
don't talk to my niece about whatever. Like, it was, I don't remember specifics, but they were kind of both. They were kind of in the heat of it. I don't think there was many words that I remember.
So Tylee goes outside.
Yeah, she was outside.
And then what happened?
Then they got up from that, and my brother had stepped back, I guess, and then Charles was coming with me at the back, yelling at me to give him his phone still, because I had it in my hand.
do you notice how her voice changes to like a little girl voice when she talks about when she's making up things, basically? When she's saying, and Charlie, her voice just completely transformed there. She has like 3 different voices I've picked up on. If you're watching, I'm not sure. Did you pick up on that?
I didn't, but I'll
It's like
definitely
her
pay attention to
narrating
it.
voice is a child. Here.
So Tylee goes outside.
Yeah, she was outside.
Supposedly her.
Yeah, she was outside. Okay, so she sounds fairly normal. Now listen.
And what happened?
Then they got up from that, and
And they got up from that. So she's still answering like in first person.
my brother had stepped back, I guess, and then Charles was coming with me at the back, yelling at me to give him his phone still.
So then it's like, and yelling at me to give him his phone. And she sounds really baby talk there.
Yeah.
Totally
High pitched
changed.
and like.
Because I had it in my hand. It was all really quickly. And then when I went around kind of in the circle, then my brother was there.
And my brother was there. It totally changes when she's speaking not in first person, when she's like outside looking at the thing that happened, or making it up, either or.
Yeah.
When you said when you were going around and he was coming at you with the bat, how was he?
Blinking a lot there. She just see now all of a sudden she's blinking. She got quiet because she didn't know what to say. There's a couple seconds there of quiet time, and the blink rate just went through the roof. Boom, blink, 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 blink.
Holding the bat.
Just like that. Like backwards. Almost in one arm.
Like he was swinging it back.
She says it. She says, she gives her the answer, and then she's looking at her. She's studying her right now to find out how
to make
do I
sure
have to
she's
change this to get it right. Yeah.
Yep.
She's totally reading her. Look at the way she's looking at her.
backwards? He would have done like
he would have swung it backwards at me, not frontwards.
okay, yeah.
He was a professional baseball player.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
I did the same thing.
She's so annoying.
it was a good idea for Chad to get out of that.
Probably not the
It's hilarious.
She's
It's just
so much like
hilarious.
Wendy.
I mean, he played semi-pro.
Yeah.
When he was young. But yeah, and then I was kind of turned around, and we were all right there in that room, except for the kids had been outside by that time, and I heard the gunshot. And
Wait, what did she just say? We were all. Wait a minute. Let me go back.
We were all in that room except the kids were outside by then, and I heard the gunshot.
yeah, and then I was kind of turned around, and we were all right there in that room, except for the kids had been outside by that time, and I heard
We were all in the room because the story goes that she didn't see the gunshot.
the gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you heard the shot? Did you actually see the shot, or did you just hear it?
Hold on 1 second. Okay,
Me?
sorry.
Okay.
No, my kid.
I had
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
around.
And I just am muting myself for a minute.
Okay. Do you want me to
I got
hold?
a kid
or-
sleepwalking. No,
Okay.
you're good.
Mm-hmm.
to the kitchen to get away from him, and so back around. So I don't know if you went in the house.
I didn't, so I'm like a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, so I didn't see the shot. I heard it, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground.
Okay.
And
So she's
It's
totally
freaking
messing
out.
up her timeline right now.
What?
She's totally confirming the timeline of when he was shot at 7:45 or whatever time.
Right.
And nobody
so
called the cops
I
for 45 minutes after.
was just freaking out, and it just went into mom mode. I'm like,
I went into mom mode. Where have we heard that one before?
I'm such a good mom.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to go to get JJ to school. I've got to get to the kids. I just felt like I got to get to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just went outside and to see if they were in there okay. I didn't want them coming back in the house when all that was going on. And got JJ in the car, and he was trying to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And Tylee was like looking at me with like the crazy eyes. Like,
So she's saying that JJ was trying to come in, but Tylee didn't say that at all. Tylee was with JJ in the car. She didn't say he was trying to come in the home.
what just happened? And I told her to get in the car and we're going to take JJ to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just left.
When you came back in and you saw him on the ground, where was your brother? Did you see him where he was at?
Yeah, he was right in front of him.
Okay.
Like, it all happened very quickly. That
Right.
was, I mean, I feel like I was there because I was right there, and like
Yeah.
a second later, like
Okay.
I just went around the kitchen to get away from him.
Did your brother say anything to you at all? Do you remember?
No, we were both just in shock.
Okay.
Like, it was just I didn't say anything. I went out with the kids just to check on them first, and I was gonna come back in maybe, but I didn't. I was like, I just have to get him to school.
Okay.
And call the police and come back, whatever.
Did anybody say did you or your brother say anything at some point about calling the police or calling 911? Do you remember?
Yeah, he called me and
Okay.
he said, "Are you taking JJ to school?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Yeah, we need to call the police." And he said, "Okay."
Okay. So he called you when you didn't come back inside, basically?
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like in the car for a minute, and then I was like, "What do I do?"
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want JJ to go inside, and I
Okay.
didn't know what to do. And Tylee was freaking out. I was trying to get them.
This might all
Away
be
from
part
the
of the
scene.
craziest story I've ever heard.
Understandable.
Like, they just shot and killed somebody. She saw and heard it happen.
And I just got in and
then
I
she just
took him to
leaves and
school.
just takes JJ to school.
Right.
I just took him to school.
Yeah.
What?
With a little laugh, like. Mm. She must not be. I mean, she
That's
doesn't strike me
insane.
as a highly intelligent person either.
And you may not know this, so, because I know you heard the shot, do you know at what point your brother had the gun? Do you know if he had it when they got in their first fight, or did he have to go get it, or do you know that at all?
I don't know.
Do you know if they had it when they got in their first fight? There was a first fight and a second fight? Now, what does that even mean? What does that even mean?
And isn't the story that they got into the tussle and then Alex walked to his room to get the gun and then he came back out with the gun?
Well, I think that's why she's asking.
Okay.
I don't know.
But
I don't
Lori
know.
was in the same room with them the whole time. She said that.
Right. And now she's
I
saying,
was
I
in
don't
the
know.
room and I
Right.
heard the shot
Yeah, she
and
didn't see it.
only one shot?
Right. There were at least 4.
So where's the investigation in this? Like,
Right.
And-
Okay.
madness.
Do you remember if you ever heard your brother?
I didn't see him ever leave the room.
Okay.
So
I didn't see him ever.
it was so
I didn't ever see him leave the room.
fast. All that was so fast. Like
Yeah.
him on the ground rolling around and I'm screaming and
This probably happened in a couple seconds.
yeah. I mean, it was like super.
Again, the cops helping her.
Yeah.
This
A couple
probably happened in a
seconds?
couple seconds. Yeah, you probably walked in and got shot. None of this happened.
None of
Fast.
it.
Most likely.
And I don't know if you know this or not. Does your brother normally carry a gun? Like, I carry a gun everywhere I go.
Right. Like I
So-
know he's a gun person. Like he
Okay.
has guns and things.
Okay.
He's good with guns.
Did you know that he had one with him when
No,
he came over?
no. But
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did because
Okay.
he's very, very professional with guns.
Proficient, professional,
Professional.
responsible is usually a good.
He got gun rights taken away from him for 5 years.
He's professional with guns.
Jesus.
Okay.
And he got it taken away from him for 5 years.
I'm just trying to figure out her body, like the way she communicates. I wonder if she'll even. I don't think they'll put her on the stand, but I'm
I
curious.
heard that
Right.
What?
has to because they're doing an alibi defense. I heard that she's going to be on the stand because they're doing an alibi defense.
Right. That's why I want to understand what. I know all these other things are true too about the cop and what Tylee said and stuff, but I'm trying to look at her and listen to her and familiarize myself, so to kind of get ready
Yeah.
for this possible
That
testimony.
the whole closed off body between the legs and the arms and the folding in, like, is she protecting herself or is she like trying to keep everybody out?
Probably.
Very responsible with guns.
She just gave herself a little hug too. Did you see the little hug? I need a hug. I'll give one to myself.
Then, do you remember if at any time, so you were trying to get away from him
Right.
and you heard the shot. Prior to the shot, do you remember at any point hearing your husband or your brother saying anything to either of them?
No.
No words.
Um,
Just boom,
so my-
boom. Nobody said a word during this entire altercation. Just
Right.
hitting you with a bat and then I'm going to just shoot you. Like, what?
Yeah.
Did you know that Zulema was a professional cuddler?
Yes.
You could hire her to.
I heard
Maybe
that.
Lori needs some
Ugh.
Zulema cuddles.
Yuck.
Second very ridiculous question
Mm-hmm.
is there anything else that I didn't ask about or anything that we didn't cover that you think is important?
Why does the cop say that's a ridiculous question? Every cop, I mean, everyone would ask that question.
I don't know. She's not a good interviewer.
I always ask that just because I wasn't there, and so we're going through something that happened a super small amount of time.
Yes. Can I
So,
step?
yeah, go for it.
That was weird.
Just thinking.
You know who that reminds me of? That was it Casey? No, not Casey Anthony. Who was the one also in Arizona who, because this happened in Arizona, who shot her boyfriend, and then she was like doing handstands and yoga in the interrogation room when they were out, coming in and out. When they would leave the room,
No.
she was like doing handstands and this. Well,
No.
not Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony's the one in Florida with the little girl.
Yeah. I have
The
no
other
idea
one,
what you're talking about.
Forgot her name. If anyone's watching this, she reminds me of Casey Anthony. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's gonna drive me crazy. I'll put it in the comments after the show.
Okay.
Observation. Who
It's
was
just
that?
like-
Observation. Shot him in the face. Yeah. She shot him and her boyfriend and I think he was also Mormon. I mean, what is going on with these Mormon people? I mean, honestly, yes, he was Mormon too. And she was dating him. What was her name? Oh my gosh. Oh, you'll know it. You'll know it when we say it. It's just slipping my mind right now. She didn't shoot him. She stabbed him 1,000,000 times. I think. I'll think of it. It'll pop in.
Okay.
She
With
was
Lori,
very
it's
smart.
it's
Just
almost like with this Lori
Um,
right now, it's almost like, okay, I got my whole story out and I can just relax and
Right.
breathe. Like I told all my details. I'm good now.
I was looking at her face during this, and she looked like a 70-year-old woman. And she's definitely calming down now. You're thinking observation must be thinking it's somebody different than I am now. Yeah, this girl stabbed him, but I think she used a gun too. Wait, she did use a gun too, I think. It'll come to me. So okay, I missed the part where the cop left.
About or anything that we didn't cover that you think is important. I always ask that just because I wasn't there, and so we're going through something that happened a super small amount of time.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, she knows it's over now.
Mhm.
She knows it's over.
Just thinking.
She hasn't shed one tear. She hasn't said how awful this whole experience was. Nothing.
No. No. She doesn't care. She's just happy it's over.
Just it. He was just so angry, like super scary.
Did you
You know how you take your phone away from like a 16-year-old?
She doesn't even let her finish. She started jumping in. The cop. Did you hear that? Like she said like 2 words and she's
Mhm.
They freak out,
Uh-huh.
like their world disintegrates. Like I've taken my phone away from a 16-year-old boy before, and he's like wanted to kill himself because like they kidnapped him. That's how it was. It was like is something on his phone that he does not want me to see. That
Pro tip, Lori.
This is
don't
like
take people's phones. What?
Well, and this is like it's foreshadowing, right? Because she's going to take away Tylee's phone. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Just
she's
so much foreshadowing.
Yep.
he was like freaking out,
Mhm.
like to the point where I thought he would hit me in the back of the head to get the phone.
Okay. So you thought,
Did you see how proud she was of that statement? She had to work that one up. She's like, I'm so proud of what I just said there.
and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you thought it was possible that he was going to hurt you.
Absolutely, he was gonna
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
You think he was going to hurt you?
let me just put some words in your mouth.
hurt me and
Or
Tylee.
if you just would have
Not
given
JJ,
back
never.
the phone,
What?
if she would have just given him his phone, he would have just left with JJ.
She wouldn't have had an excuse to shoot him if she
No,
gave him his
no,
phone.
no.
For JJ.
Okay.
and he hurt my brother. Like,
Yeah.
he was going like ballistic about. It was bad.
Okay.
If he's a professional baseball
was
player
going
and he's
ballistic.
going ballistic,
About what? She didn't ask her about what. She just it looked like she was going to say something there and she stopped. She didn't ask her about what. It wasn't about the phone. She was
No.
going to say something else there. She was going to slip.
well, if only. But like if he's a professional baseball player and he's going ballistic on your brother with a bat, shouldn't your brother have like, I don't know, a black eye or a broken arm or broken ribs or shouldn't there be some injury?
Right. I'm just want to talk about the way she lies though and what she's saying here and not saying. And
I'm going to go talk to her real quick.
Okay.
And then if obviously, we'll be here for a little bit, hopefully not too much longer. But if you think of anything or there's anything that kind of pops in your head or something else that we didn't cover, obviously. So I'm going to go talk to her for just a little bit and then I'll kind of come back and check with you. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I know my partner's talking to your brother over in one of the other interview rooms. So we're going to just try to get, as much done as we can and go from there. Okay. And then, is there anybody that you need to call or anything, or you want to wait a little bit?
I don't know what I would say.
And wait a little bit, we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know what I would say.
And if you want to, you can think about it. So, we do have, victim services, that work within the.
I don't know what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, right.
My brother just shot your dad.
Your dad, your son, your brother. Yeah.
And then she texted.
Okay, but hold off
The
on
police department, they're right over here. They're not cops, they're civilians. And they do, Jessica, who was out there with the fire department, so they're kind of our crisis response. They come right away.
Mm-hmm.
So our victim services that work in the department are kind of more long-term type support system. So they're just a really good resource because they do a lot of stuff with our families and things like that and can help with support services and questions you might have.
She's been through so much.
So it might be a good
I
idea.
just can't stand for her to have to go through all this.
Yeah, it might be a good idea maybe before I take you guys back today that I get one of them to come in and maybe sit and talk with you guys and see. And it's not something there's a bunch of
Jody Arias.
Oh,
stuff they can, offer, but it's good to have a contact and like a name and a face and a phone number.
That'd be good.
That way maybe a couple days from now, a week from now, or if there's something going on or you think you need help with something, it may not be something that's necessarily up like me and my partner's alley, but it very much may be up theirs. So I'd like for you to meet one of them before we leave. That way, hopefully if there's something that they can help you and your daughter with, they can, or even JJ or whatever else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I even thought about him.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he's used to him not being there, but he wouldn't understand even if you told him.
Right.
Like, that somebody passed away, he doesn't understand.
What?
JJ's so used to him not even being there. So, I mean,
Right.
it's no big deal.
Yeah. That's a little bit of a Wendy Adelson there, isn't it?
Yes.
A little throw under the bus.
Woof.
Yes, observation. Jody Arias. Okay. Just for the heck of it. Let's go ahead and take a look at Jody in the interview room.
No.
That was so Lori Vallow right there. That's what came to mind with the little. You mind if I cross my legs?
What?
You never saw this. That's why you come here for quality content.
No.
Yep. Yeah, let's just
It's
do a little
happening.
stretch here. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
If ever I have to go into a police interview room, now I know that's where I can get my yoga.
Oh, Dawn.
Okay.
It's like, that looks like a really good wall.
All right. Back to our regular schedule programming.
Well, I mean, it's hard at 7 to understand that
Anyway,
anyways.
that's true, but with him, he just doesn't, which is
Yeah.
probably better because he doesn't comprehend things, but I don't know. It's just, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah. So let me go find one of them, and then we'll make sure that you guys.
It's a lot to think about. So I think right there she had a moment of clarity. Just a second. When I say moment, I don't mean a minute. I mean a couple, like a moment in time. But Katie, do you think that at this point she already knew that she was going to, that her children, she was going to kill her children, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
at least Tylee. I don't know about JJ, but for sure Tylee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
You guys get to meet with them before you leave, because that might be something very helpful for you guys.
And that's the thing, you know, looking at her and hearing her answers and stuff that I like to just like really kind of focus on, because the way people will just straight face lie.
Yeah.
Because they're so comfortable doing it, probably have done it all their life.
And I'm going to go speak with your daughter for just a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay? And if you need anything, let me know, okay? Okay.
Dawn,
that was kind of weird. She said, if you need anything, oh my gosh. That did not. Oh God. Okay. Okay.
Can you go back a second? I'd like to screenshot.
No. Okay.
Oh, Dawn.
I'm gonna cry. I'm crying. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, Amazing Grace in the interview. The girl I was thinking saying Amazing Grace in the interview room. Who was that? Yeah, there was another one. I know there are so many weird interviews after she killed her boyfriend. And the OnlyFans did some. OnlyFans did some. I'm sorry, you guys. That was not. Did not know that was happening. I just hit the. Oh. Okay, what were we saying? I got a headache now from laughing so hard. What were we saying?
I just wanted to ask before that went down. Do you know if this police station has ever come out and said, "Man, we did not do a good job investigating this. We did not do a good job interviewing this. We did not do a good job."
I don't know that they did. I don't know that they did admit to that, but I have to wonder, especially when I saw that interview. We haven't done this one together yet, where that I was mentioning earlier, where the guy just helped her throw Charles under the bus before this happened. It's like, how do you sleep at night? Yeah. How do you sleep at night knowing, I mean, you can make a mistake. They're not going to catch everyone, right? But this was so bad.
Yeah.
And as somebody who might need or have needed protection in their lifetime, you know, my thought was like, is this how they talk about me? You know, the person that's supposed to be protected, you know. All right, let's see if we can wrap this up tonight.
Or do some teaching tapes on this. Like, this
I
is
hope so.
just.
It's.
They could have saved. I mean, they couldn't have saved Charles, but those babies, like.
Right.
She's sleeping with a bat. There's got to be a concern.
She's got a grin on her face right now. when she's done, it's kind of dissipating a little bit right there, but she was smiling. She's like that looked like a self-satisfied face to me. She's quite happy with herself.
Oh, pretending to cry.
I don't know what
Try to
that
wipe
is.
off the fake
I
tears.
think it's more the runny mascara.
She's using Jolly Ranchers for lipstick in prison, in case you're
And
wondering.
And blush.
Yep.
No, I think it looks like she had real makeup a couple of times. Oh, what was that? Okay, look at her face there.
Yeah, she's like, do you ever think she regrets any of this?
Watch. That was a smile. It was like she smiled right there. She took a deep breath. I think she, I watched her for the second time. I watched the video on her arraignment last night. And when they read the charges, she closed her eyes. She did look, well, she at least closed her eyes when they read her children's names. I don't know what that meant. Her lawyer didn't let her, he said not guilty for her. He didn't make her say not guilty. And I was bummed. She should have had to say it. She should have had to say it. I have a video of Chad doing it, and I do want to play that. Maybe not tonight, but
yeah.
Take a nice deep breath, self-satisfied, smug face there. And I don't think there's any more conversation at this point after this, as far as I remember. It's just her in the room, taking a little napster. Yeah, and then
She's not nearly this skinny anymore, is she?
I think they're over talking to Tylee now, and then they come back. Yeah, so that's the end of it. I don't know how skinny she is or isn't. What I do know is she looks like she's got the face of a 70-year-old here. She doesn't look good. Like her face looks very haggard. A lot of maybe too much sun or something like that. Observation says, thank you, ladies. I too mourn the loss of missed opportunity. Yeah. And I hope they make some changes. I would think they would have to make some changes after this because everyone is seeing these videos of this. Right. Yeah. Hey, Tosh. Tosh is here. She's meowing.
Aw, hi, Tosh.
She's trying to get by. So,
how is
all right.
Pepe LaFleur doing?
Pepe is fine. He's still with his foster. We're going to go get him April 2nd, I think.
Oh,
Jamie and I. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She's getting ready. Everything ready. So, any final, do you want to see what I was talking about with Chad's arraignment? Do we have more time? It's 10:25 your time. Should we save that for the next? Go ahead.
Let's save that for the next. How long is it?
When I find it, part where it's not long. The whole thing is 18 minutes, but I'm going to speed ahead to where he's saying whatever he says with his frog.
Yeah.
It's because we were talking about frogs.
Yes.
I want to, come on, Tosh. Him and his lawyer. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's take a look.
The plea after that.
I'm interested to hear about. Oh,
very well.
Okay.
Those are
Count
his children.
4 of the indictment.
Chad's children. Okay, let's listen to this.
Yeah.
Because they don't think he's guilty.
Charges you with first-degree murder.
They what?
Felony under these.
They didn't think he was guilty.
Now
I don't know what they say now, but they didn't think he did anything.
I mean, okay. Ooh.
That's Kay. That's
that count
Tylee's
also
grandmother.
Is punishable by death or imprisonment for life, provided that if the death penalty is not pursued, then the court shall impose a life sentence with a minimum period of incarceration of 10 years. Do you understand Count 6 and those possible penalties, Mr. Daybell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but he doesn't say not guilty. He says, yes, Your Honor. And look,
What is that?
I know.
Oh, God.
All right, count 7 of the indictment is not a charge against you. It's a charge against a co-conspirator. Count 8 of the indictment charges you, Mr. Daybell, with the crime of insurance fraud, which is a felony under Idaho Code Section 41293. That is a felony that carries up to 15 years in prison and a fine of up to $15,000 plus restitution. Do you understand?
Look at his lawyer. Look at the two of them together.
Ew. That's what Chad's going to look like in like 5 years.
They look like brothers.
Yeah,
And that
gross.
charge and those possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. It's so weird. I know this is really immature of us, but I can't help. It just struck me as just weird. But yeah, he does that like 9 times because he's got more indictments than she does.
Oh my God.
His, as far as I understand, his is conspiracy. Let me open this. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder plus grand theft by deception for the death of Tylee Ryan. Number 2, first-degree murder for the death of Tylee Ryan. Number 3, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder plus grand theft by deception for the death of J.J. Vallow. Number 4, first-degree murder for the death of J.J. Vallow. And that's why Kay was crying on that shot there. She was, as that was being read. It's just, I can't even imagine.
I think it'll be really easy to convict them on the conspiracy. I think it's going to be harder to convict them on the actual murder because
I know conspiracy can be tricky too. So number 5 for him is conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of the death of Tammy Daybell, his wife. Number 6, first-degree murder in the death of his wife, Tammy Daybell. And then 7 and 8 were 2 different counts of insurance fraud. So I'm not sure if there were 2 different occurrences or 2 different policies, but either way, they had discussions and whatnot of the insurance and Social Security and Charles's life insurance and all of that before. And there was even, I mean, Lori Daybell even said, you know, before we got rid of him, talking about Charles or something like that, we got rid of him. She admitted it in writing, in a text or something, or I don't know if it was a phone call or a text. I think it was a text. So, I mean, there's an awful lot of evidence against them. So, yeah. Strange people, really strange people, especially this one. Like this one. And his lawyer there, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even tolerate. I'll listen to the prosecution, but I love to listen to the defense. Usually that's mostly what I want to listen to, but I can't stand that attorney. I can't take him. I can't take him.
I'll have to find a different video of him because I just to see why you hate him so much. You'll have to send me a video.
I don't hate him, but I can't take him.
Yeah.
His mannerisms, his expressions, he uses the same expression. I'll share some videos of him.
Okay.
Prime examples. But it's just constant gratuitous insulting the prosecutor. I mean, it's like it's supposed to be an adversarial system, but it's not supposed to be ugly like that. And it's just been nonstop with him pre-trial, you know, so I can't even imagine what the trial is going to be like. But yeah, don't they look like brothers though?
They do. And listening to Gigi, she said that he had quite the glow up after he met Lori.
Yes.
So I want to find previous pictures of him too.
I'm going to do some graphics for us in the community pages. I've already got one of these 2 that I'm preparing.
Okay.
They're wearing some nice hats. Because you got to laugh, you know, at a certain point because it's just.
I know. It's so horrible that you
I'll be
just,
so
yeah.
glad. Yeah. So yeah, an observation says I can't take him. Same thing. I mean, there are a lot of people saying that he is really hard to take. I wish you knew, because now I feel like I'm tainting you. You might love him. What do
I
you think?
doubt it.
What do you think, Chad? Is Katie gonna love Chad Daybell's lawyer?
Did we lose all of our
Did he-
chatters after my headphone nonsense?
I think we lost a couple, but we still have observation here. Lorenzo is mostly here for the pack for the football, but we lost Too Deep. But Too Deep might be working or something along those lines, and his comments were getting deleted, so he may be commenting and we're just not seeing them. Yeah, he said his comment. He said it's happened before and it's only on my station, on my channel. So I do have like swear words blocked and stuff like that. So, but I don't think he's doing that. Oh gosh. Well, here, you can hear him. Let's see. So here's Kay right here in the middle. Kay Woodcock. That's JJ's grandmama. KK, also known as KK. And next to her, this is Colby Ryan, Lori's son.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
On the court's YouTube channel
There's the two of them.
for public. Okay, thank you for that, Mr.
Okay, here we go. You want to hear him speak? Okay, here we go.
That have been brought against you. The indictment's not evidence, rather it sets forth the criminal charges against you that would be prosecuted by the state of Idaho in this case.
That's the prosecutor, the lead prosecutor. And he's from Rexburg. And then the other gal next to him, she's from the other town, because there's two different
Mr.
jurisdictions.
Pryor, have you received a copy of the indictment and reviewed that with your client, Mr. Daybell?
Yes, Your Honor, and at this time, we will waive formal reading of that indictment, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr.
Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Pryor.
He really puts on the royal act,
He bowed.
but he's really
In a moment
nasty.
then, Mr. Daybell, I will advise you of the charges that are pending against you and explain the penalties associated with those charges. Next, I'll just
So they like to waive the reading of the charges of what they're being indicted for and arraigned for, because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it and they don't want it said out loud. So that's very common.
Okay.
But he does read each one and makes him plead. Yeah.
discuss,
Let's see
Mr.
if I,
Pryor, exercising your constitutional right in your own behalf.
that's the other
and
prosecutor. I love her. She's really, he goes after her like personally. And she's like, that's personal. I will not tolerate that. She stands up for herself.
the state's case against you.
I don't know.
182407 fifth.
Let me see. I'm going to go to
Under
the end.
the statute previously cited.
This
in
is
the
very
other-
sad. I don't mean to make.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, count 7 of the indictment.
Not guilty,
On count 3, how do you plead?
not guilty.
Okay,
For
here
the
we go.
court, or anything you need to discuss with your client before I
Why
ask
does he
for the
talk
plea?
like that?
No, Judge, and I anticipate that my client will be entering a plea of not guilty to all of the charges.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pryor. I will go through them then individually again. On count 1
Here we
of the
go.
indictment, Mr. Daybell, how do you plead?
Not guilty,
We'll enter the not guilty plea on count 1. On count 2, how do you plead?
not guilty,
On count 3, how do you plead?
not guilty,
On count 4, how do you plead?
not guilty,
On count 5, how do you plead?
not guilty,
On count 6, how do you plead?
not guilty,
On count 8, how do you plead?
not guilty,
And on count 9, how do you plead?
not guilty.
Very well. Not guilty pleas are entered as to all the counts in the indictment.
Did you notice he didn't say not guilty. He said not guilty, like a question at the end. I just noticed that.
This time.
And it was like he
normally
was
we would
struggling
discuss
to get the
trial
knot
setting,
out, like the.
Talked
Yeah.
to counsel and chambers before we started, and given the nature of the case
I want
He will represent.
I want to get to him.
right now to get a trial set,
Okay.
Does your client agree to a
Poor kids.
scheduling conference in 2 weeks in lieu of a trial setting right now, Mr. Pryor?
Yes, I've discussed that with him, and at this point, Judge, if you need that representation, he will represent that he's agreeable to setting this out for a status conference for the purposes of scheduling this case for further proceedings.
All right, very well. Do you understand then we'll set your trial in 2 weeks in lieu of doing that today, Mr. Daybell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So
Wow.
we'll hold that hearing on June 23rd. Council, any suggestions on time? I'm thinking probably just in the morning at 9:30.
That's acceptable to the defense, Your Honor.
And that works for the state as well, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I'll set the scheduling conference for June 23rd at 9:30 a.m. We will conduct that hearing by Zoom. That will not be a live in-person proceeding. And at that time, we will get the matter set for a trial on these counts. I believe that concludes the matters we
Now
need to
watch
bring up on
this.
this
He
case
does this every
this
time.
morning. Then, is there anything further
I
from
wanna
the
see if you
state
notice
on
it.
the case today?
Nothing further from the state at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Blake. Anything further from the defense, Mr. Pryor?
Nothing further from the defense. Judge, may we be excused?
You may. Thank you, counsel.
you.
That will.
Does he ask every time to be excused?
Yes.
No.
He asks so that he's not told.
Oh, gosh.
And he does
Ugh.
this kind of crap all day long, all day. It drives me absolutely out of my mind. And I have a feeling the judges, I don't know how they've made it this far. I just don't know. May we be
Wow.
excused? Like he's in. Never
he
have I
bows.
ever. Never have I
He's
ever.
bowing. Every
He's-
time he bows.
And he pretends he's a toad. He's totally, that's why the frog thing. And then also Chad with the,
Oh, Chad.
yes,
the
Your
toad.
Honor. I mean, what? We need Judy.
Chad,
We need
ooh.
Judy to do her. Judy does these impersonations. She's so much better than I am. I just look like a jerk. Oh, your new favorite channel. Yeah, that's why when you sounded like a frog to them earlier, I was just like, oh no, no. stepping on my punchline here. Yeah, that's a little
Oh,
introduction, but
gross.
he does this overly formal, gratuitous politeness because 99% of the time he's being absolutely horrible. So, but of course, this was the arraignment, so he can't say anything, or there's nothing he can be horrible about today on this one. But yeah, may we be excused?
Yeah.
Please. May we be disbarred? I hope. So, and I also have personal feelings about it because of his personal conduct. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? Yeah, he's had charges and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just don't have much tolerance for his weirdness. Ribbit. I don't know if Colby is still married or not. I know they had a rough spot.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I don't even like to say bad things about the defendants. You know how I am. I was like, hurt people and people have reasons and stuff, but this guy gets on my every last nerve. So I won't have a problem with Lori's attorneys at all, but this, I don't know how I will. In this case, audio would be better because at least I wouldn't have to see him with all of his gestures and stuff. But his voice is just, yeah, at this point I'll see him in my head. So do we know if Colby is still married or is he? I know they were separated. I don't know if they worked it out or not. I got some paperwork says I would be afraid if he was my attorney, he would turn the jury off and I'd lose my case. Exactly. Thank you for saying that, because that is what this channel is supposed to be about. If I were on the jury, I would be very much influenced, and it would be hard. As hard as I try not to be, to take personal shots at people or feel that way about people, I can't with him. I can't.
Yeah. I think that's like back to the Murdoch. I could not stand Dick Harpootlian because
Right.
I thought he was a pompous ass old white man just being a jerk to all females. Like,
Oh, wait till you hear
Oh.
this guy makes Harpootlian look like
Oh,
like
God.
Tom Selleck or whatever. I don't know who that even is, but I don't know why I said Tom Selleck. I have no idea who he is. I don't like
know who
Tom
that
Selleck.
is.
My mom used to like Tom Selleck. Magnum PI or something. This is a show she used to watch, and I couldn't
Yes.
stand him because he's got a big. I don't like facial hair. I don't like mustaches. So I don't know why I said that. But who's somebody Kevin Costner, who's
Okay.
a little bit more smooth, charming. All right, kids. All right, so let's wrap her up, and we will come back this week. We're going to have a double show this week, so we'll be back on Friday, right?
Yes.
Friday, same time, same channel,
Yep.
and we hope to see you all here. Thank you for being in the live chat, and if you're replaying, thank you for replaying. We're glad you're here. We want to hear what you have to say. I do apologize for going over my own boundaries here and kind of talking negatively about somebody. I shouldn't do that, but hopefully you'll forgive me for that.
Oh. Sometimes we just need to.
Sometimes you just can't. So in any case, bye for now, everyone. We'll see you on Friday, same place. Thank you, Katie. Bye for now.
Bye.